Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Shatarashata Shishmat Srila. Sorry, I need to start over. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnupada Srila Bhakti Saranta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnu Mahabhagavat Srila Goksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnu Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nityalapa Vishnu Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jīva Gopal Bhatta Shaguna Shara Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Chai Shri Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री रास पंचाध्यायी की जय। सर्वव्रज देवी गण की जय। श्री विश्वभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री दामोदराष्टकम की जय। सत्यव्रत मुनि की जय। श्री सनातन गोस्वामी पाद की जय। श्री अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। समागत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। न वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तरभक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सार्वभूत हृदयामुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदन्तस्थो यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतम्। नष्टप्रयेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Tavai vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay. Shibdashtakama ditaranga madhe. Kripa maitam sharanam prapana. Vrinde namaste charana ravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. I want to say, Shri Mataji, I just saw your WhatsApp message. I think I'm okay. If I do start falling asleep, though, I will stand up. Okay. Well, I was able to finish kirtan a little early today, and I was feeling really tired, and so then like at 7 a.m., I took a little nap and had a really intense, very real dream, and then I woke up just a little bit after it was time to start. And so I'm just kind of trying to adjust to reality right now. That's the only thing. But I think I'm okay because I took a nap, and so I don't think I'll fall asleep. All right, so now, and let's do this prayer to Radha Damodar. Anga Shamalima Chata Bhirabhito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jagodorochisam Vidhadatam Patam Bharasya Shriya Vrindaranya Vilasinam Hridilasar Tamabhiramodaram Radha Skandha Niveshito Jwalabhujang Dhyaye Madamodaram. That's a prayer from Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī's Stavamala. Means, his bodily luster eclipses a blue lotus. His brilliant yellow garments rebuke the radiance of golden kumkum. He revels in pastimes within Sri Vrindavan. His chest is beautified by a splendid Vaijayanti garland, and his splendorous left hand rests upon the shoulder of Sri Radha. I meditate upon that Sri Damodar. Okay, so now we'll sing Gopī-gīta up to verse 17. But first, I'm going to drink some water. 1 second, just see. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Sorry, okay. Jayati te dhikam janmana vraja shayata indira shashvaratrahi taita drishyata Dekshutavakas Tvaidrita Savas Tvang Vichin Bhate Sadudaṣaye Sadhujata Sat Sarase Jodara Shimushadrisha Suratanātate Aśulkadāsika Varadane Nato Neha Kim Vada Vishajapyaya Vyalarakshasat Varshamaruthat Vaidyutanalat Vishamayatmajar Vishvatopayat Rishabhate Vayam Rakshita Muhur Nakalu Gopika Nandano Pavan Akila Dehinam Antaratmadre Vikhana Sartito Vishaguptaye Sakayo Devan Sattvatam Kule Virachitayam Vrishni Duryate Charanami Yusham Sangsriter Bhayat Kara Sararoha Kanta Kamadam Shirasi Dehina Shikara Graham Vrajajanartihan Virayoshitam Nijajana Smaya Dangsana Smita Bhaja Sake Bhava Kinkari Smano Jalaruhananam Charudashayam Pranata Dehinam Papakarshanam Trinacharanugam Sriniketanam Pani Panarpitam Te Padam Bhujam Krinukuche Shuna Krindihre Chayam Madhuraya Gira Valgovakhyaya Udamano Gaya Pushkare Kshana Vidir Karirima Viramoyati Adhara Sinduna Pyayaya Svana Tavakatamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavipiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimaratatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Bhurita Jana Rahasitam Priya Prema Vekshanam Viharanam Chate Dhanamangalam Rahasi Sangvidam Yarite Sprisha Kuhakano Mana Kshobayanti Chalasiyad Vrajaj Ayad Pashur Nalina Sundarang Natate Para Śrīla Trinankurai Siddhati Tina Kalitlatam Namana Kanta Gacchati Dina Parikshaye Nila Vanaruhananam Vipradavrita Dhanarajasvala Darshayan Muhur Manasena Smarang Viraya Chasi Pranatakamata Parmajarchitam Dharani Mandanam Deyamapadi Charana Pankajam Shantamam Chate Ramanana Stane Shvarpaya Dihan Suratavardhanam Shokanashanam Sarita Venuna Sushtuchumbita Itararagave Smaranam Nrinam Vitaravira Naste Daramritam Atatiyar Bhavan Anikananam Trutiryugayate Tvamapashyata Kutila Kuntalam Shrimukam Chate Jada Udikshatam Pakshma Kridrisha Patisutan Vaya Bhratribandavan Ati Vilangyate Antachuta Agata Agati Vidastava Kita Mohita Kita Vayoshita Kastya Jenishi Rahasi Sangvidam Richayodayam Prahasitananam Prema Vekshanam Prihadurashiyo Vikshadhamate Muhurati Spriha Moyate Mana Vanokasa Yaktirangate Vijrina Avrijina Hantralam Vishvamangalam Tyajamanakchanas Tatsprihatmanam Sajanare Drujam Yani Shodhanam. I'll just sing to the end just since we're so close. Yate Sujata Charanam Yate Sujata Charanam Buruhangstaneshu Bhita Shanai Priyadhadi Mahi Karkasheshu Tenatavim Atasita Yatate na Kense Gorpadebir Brahmate Dir Bhavamayushamna. Okay. So verse 17. The gopis say, one second. Let me just- O beloved master, having seen you as you conversed intimately with us in secret places, your smiling face, which acts as a stimulus for our amorous desires, your glancing at us with love, and your expansive chest, which is the eternal resting place of the goddess of fortune. Our hankering to meet with you has increased many-fold, and our minds are repeatedly bewildered. Hare Krishna, Rasa Priya Didi, and love Dhruv Prabhu. Okay, let's read the translation here, this version. O possessor of our lives, our private conversations with you in a lonely place, your lotus face with a soft smile giving rise to amorous desire, your love-laden glances, and your broad chest, the eternal abode of Lakshmi. Remembering all these, our minds are repeatedly bewitched, and we hanker more and more to meet with you. Rahasi Sangvidam Hritchayodayam Prahasitananang Prema Vikshanam Brihad Uro Shriyo Vikshadhamate Muhurati Spriha Muhyate Mana. So now Śrīla Śrīdhara Samipad Bhāvārtha Dīpikā. Previously, just from seeing you, we were afflicted by the disease of love arising in our hearts. The only cure for it is the medicine of your association. Although no other method can help us, you reject us now. To communicate this idea, the gopis speak this verse, Rahasi Sangvidam, and the next one. Seeing your broad chest, the place of Sri Lakshmi's pleasure pastimes, we experience intense yearning that continually confuses and stupefies us. Srila Jīva Gosvāmī's Srila Jīva Gosvāmī's Vaiṣṇava Toṣaṇī. We are astounded observing the amorous desire arising in your heart. How did we come to know this was happening to you? Rahasi Sangvidam. With jesting words, you begged us for prem in a secluded place. Prahasitananam. Your beautiful smile kindles our calm. Prema Vikshanam. You gazed upon us with thirsty, love-filled eyes. When we behold your broad chest, the source of the calm, our hearts are seized with this desire and struck with wonder. Brihat, broad. This indicates the special beauty of the chest, which stimulates desire to be tightly embraced. Śrīla. On that chest is the golden line, which is the eternal abode of Sri Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Ati Spriha. The sight of your chest stirs in us a longing to meet with you. Viksha means sing, and Spriha means yearning. The subject of these two verbs is we, meaning the gopis. Joining Viksha with tva, the verb becomes a past participle because the action of seeing Krishna was completed in the past. Another meaning comes if the sentence is read independently from the pronoun we, in which case the main accent goes on the word see and becomes the desire to see. Thus, seeing Vikshanam becomes the cause of the rising of a strong desire, the ati spriha. In this case, the meaning is as follows. Previously, we met with you in a secluded place, and after that, our minds are always churning with a strong desire to see you. According to another interpretation, the gopis say, when we saw that your heart was palpitating with amorous desire, an uncontrollable longing took over our hearts, causing us to be bewildered over and over again. Causing us to be bewildered over and over again. Thus, because Krishna was afflicted with desire first, the Vraj Devis, confirming their innocence, place full blame on him and say, now our minds are bewildered by that same strong desire, the ati spriha. Krishna was afflicted with the desire first. The Bhagavatam commentator Chitsuka reads this word as ati spriham in neuter gender, instead of ati spriha, which is in feminine gender. Both versions mean the desire only to meet with Krishna. By admitting their minds are bewildered, the gopis express the intensity of their longing. Alternatively, the gopis are trying to say, it is not only now that we are witnessing the rise of lust in Krishna. This already happens many times before. At those times, our minds were possessed by great hankering when we would see him. But now, just by remembering the lust rising in him, we are seized by an overwhelming desire to be with him. As that desire has not been fulfilled, we are on the brink of death. This is the mood. Desire could not be removed. It was impossible for the gopis to resist it. In other words, there was no possibility of curing the gopis' disease. In this way, the gopis describe their pathetic condition. Śrīla Viśvanātha Chakravartī Thakur's Sārārtha Darshini. The gopis say, what can we do? Your 5 enchanting actions are like the 5 arrows of Cupid. What are the 5 arrows of Cupid? Let's see. Kamdev's 5 arrows are 1. The red Akarshan Bana, arrows that captivate. 2. Yellow Vashikaran Bana, arrows that subjugate by casting a spell. 3. The dark blue Unmadhan Bana, arrows that intoxicate. And 4. The Dravana Bana, arrows that melt the heart. And 5. The white Shoshana Bana, arrows that suck up one's strength. Huh. I've never heard that explanation before. I heard of like the 5 arrows. One is the, oh God, I don't remember what the different types were, but I remember one was the mango bud, I think, arrow. And yeah, there's interesting. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the thing. So the gopis say, what can we do? Your 5 enchanting actions are like the 5 arrows of Cupid. Using them to enter through the holes of our eyes, you invaded our hearts and set them on fire. We will enumerate your 5 bewildering agents. The first is Rahasi Sangvidam. With your words, you beg for affection, rati, in a secluded place. The second is Hrichchayodayam. When you see us, your mind is attacked by Cupid. The third is Prahasitanam. You smile beautifully. The fourth is Prema Vikshanam. You gaze upon us with love. The fifth is the sight of your broad chest, Brihad Ura, which is the abode of all beauty and which stimulates intense desire to embrace it. Seeing these again and again, we are inundated with an extreme longing to meet with you, ati spriha. Due to this, our minds are bewildered, and our burning enthusiasm is making us faint. All right, so that's our Gopī-gīta reading for today. 1 second, Now we will read Dāmodarāṣṭakam. third verse, Satyavrat Muni's commentary. Sorry, Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad's commentary. And I'm just mentioning at the beginning of each reading, this is a proofread. And so if you find any mistakes, please, that I don't catch, then please let me know so that I can enter them in. Namamishvara Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Iti Driksvalilabhir Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshitar Gesho Bhaktarchitatvam Apuna Prema Tastam Shatavriti Vande Namamishvara Sachirananda Rupa Lasat Kunda Lam Gokule Braja Manam. Okay, so let's go over the word for word. Okay, so the previous two verses was describing that Krishna, how Krishna ran away from the grinding mortar, and Mother Yashoda caught hold of him from behind. And then the second verse, he was rubbing his eyes with his two lotus hands, and his eyes were filled with fear, and he was, do you say heaving? Anyways, he was breathing very heavily in and out, which caused the pearl necklace on his neck, which has 3 marks on it, to tremble. So I worship that Damodar who is bound by bhakti. And so itidrik, like this, describing those 2 previous verses, his supremely enchanting childhood pastimes such as Dambandha and Lila. So like this, Svalilabhir, by his Svalilabhir. Lilabhir makes it, what do you say, plural, and Swa, his own. So like this, by his sweet pastimes, Ananda Kunde, he, well, actually, I think we need to go through Swagosham Nima Jantam. Nima Jantam, he drowns, he immerses his Swagosham, his own people, all the inhabitants of Gokul, and he immerses them in what? In Ananda Kunde, in an ocean. Sorry, in pools of Ananda. Like the word Kund, Radha Kund. So, yeah, in pools of Ananda, of bliss. And through these Svalilabh here, through these pastimes of his, Akyapayantam. Akyapayantam means he informs. Who does he inform? He informs the Tadiyeshita Geshu, those who are Geshu, who are aware of Tadiya, his Ishita, his godhood. Right? Let me see if I got that right. Yeah, his absolute divinity, his Ishita. What does he inform those people? That Bhakter Jitatvam, that only by bhakti is Tvam, is he and this is a prayer to Damodar, so Tvam means you. Only you are jitat, you are conquered by bhakti. Puna prematastang shatavritti vande. Puna, again and again. Prematastang. What's prematastang? Let's look. Premata means with love, and tang means unto you. Shatavritti vande. Shata avritti, hundreds of times vande, I offer obeisances. Okay, so let's just look at this one more time. Itti drik swali labhir ananda kunde swagosham nimajantam akhyapayantam. So like this, swali labhir, your own pastime, with your own pastimes, you nimajantam, you immerse swagosham, the inhabitants of Gokul, in ananda kunde, in pools of bliss. Akhyapayantam, thus informing Tadiyeshita Geshu, those who are Geshu, who are aware of Tadiya, your Ishita, your godhood, I guess you say. You inform them what? That Bhaktarjitatvam, that you are conquered only by bhakti. Puna prematastam, so with love, again and again, Shata Vritti Vande, I offer Vande, prayers to you, obeisances to you, Shata Vritti, hundreds of times. Shata Avritti, hundreds of times. Okay, let's read the translation. By his childhood pastimes such as this Dham Bandhan Lila, he perpetually drowns all the residents of Gokul, his gopas, gopis, cows, calves, and so forth, who are all manifested by his pastime potency in pools of bliss. Thus he informs those who have knowledge of his absolute divinity that only by pure and simple love, he informs those who have knowledge of his absolute divinity that only the pure and simple love of these devotees can conquer him. Again, hundreds of times, I offer loving obeisance unto Sri Damodar Krishna. So now we come to the Dig-darśinī-ṭikā by Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad. There's the Sanskrit, and we'll read the Bhav Anuvad of that. One second. Need more water. Right, let me just check everything's running okay. Looks like it. Cool. Haribol, Prajumna Prabhu, and Mantramurti Mataji. Sri Satyavrat Muni begins this verse with Iti Drik Swali Labhir to establish his worshipful Lord's unique glory. He accomplishes this by illustrating his wonderful character. In this verse, Iti is used to mean like this. Thus he begins. Like this, by his Bhakta Vashyata. In this way, he reiterates that it is Sri Krishna's nature to come under the control of his devotees. Alternatively, Iti means by this Damodar Lila and Idrishibhishcha, by his supremely enchanting, extraordinary childhood pastimes like Damadila. He is immersing all the residents of Gokul in great bliss. The addition of swa in the phrase swalilabhi conveys the greatness of his own pastimes, or it conveys the uncommon excellence of the playfulness of his pastimes. This has been described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.11.7 in statements such as the following. Gopi bisto bito nrityad Bhagavan balavat kvachit udgayati kvachin mugdhas Tarvasho daruyantravat. The gopis would encourage Krishna to dance in various ways. They would clap their hands or say, "If you dance, then we will give you a laddu." Although Krishna is Bhagavan, the supreme omnipotent Godhead, and the master of all opulences, baby Krishna would dance for them like an innocent human child. Sometimes they would tell him to sing, and like an ordinary bewildered child, he would sing for them. Enchanted by them, he became like a wooden puppet in their hands. Bhārti kvachira agyapta pīṭakonmanapadukam bahukshepam chakurute swanang cha pritam samudvaham. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 10:11:8. The gopis would order Sri Krishna to bring them someone's shoes, wooden seats, measuring cups, or the weights used for scales. At such times, he would act as if he was unable to lift these articles, and he would simply stand there touching them. And then he would repeatedly strike his arms to show his mightiness. By such gestures, he'd fill his own kin with boundless joy. One second, okay. It was in sole reference to the above statements of Srimad Bhagavatam that Sri Satyavrata Muni said Sri Krishna causes Swagosham, his own kin, the residents of Gokul, to be totally submerged, Nimajantam, in a nectarian and incredibly deep pool of extraordinary happiness, Ananda Kunda. That is the indication of this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Swanam Pratim Samudvahan. He thoroughly arouses deep love in his own dear kin. Alternatively, the word Ghosha means to loudly proclaim the glory of something. Directing the word Ghosha either to himself, Swasya, or to his own, Swanam, the meaning becomes either by broadcasting his own glories or by broadcasting the glories of his gopas and gopis. Certainly, by becoming absorbed in the mood of spreading his extraordinary glories, as well as the glories of his own loved ones, even Sri Krishna sinks in Ananda Kunda. And as a result, he feels the highest limit of happiness. In order to further describe the extraordinary qualities of Sri Bhagavan, Sri Satyavrata Muni then says, by these pastimes, Sri Krishna is making it known, Akhyapayantam, to all who are Tadiya Ishita Geshu, those who worship him as a supreme controller and the master of all souls, that he himself is controlled and defeated by the love of his pure devotees, Bhakter Chitatam. Let's look at the footnote. It says, the phrase Tadiya Ishita Geshu refers to those among his worshippers, Tadiya, who know Geshu about. Yeah, okay. In other words, Krishna is declaring, I willingly become controlled by my bhaktas alone, who are intent on serving me with pure devotion. I am never controlled by them. I am never controlled by those who are inclined to worshiping my supreme position in opulence. Thus, the sage captures the meaning of the following statement from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:11-9. Darshayang stadvidham loka atmano bhrityavashyatam. Bhagavan Shri Krishna showed the community of those who know about his supreme position that he only remains under the full control of his loving servants. The commentator Śrīla Sanātana Gosvāmī personally explains the above statement of Bhagavatam as follows. Here the word tad, about that, or about him, is connected to Sri Krishna's position as Bhagavan, and when it is combined with vidham, knowledge of, it becomes knowledge of his position as Bhagavan. Thus the meaning is clear. He is showing darshanks, he is showing those who know about his supreme opulence that he willingly comes under the control of his loving servants. In other words, and this is in square brackets, In other words, this original Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chandra is exhibiting that in every respect, he is only controlled by his loving servants in Vraj, and among them, he is especially controlled by those in Unnata Ujjvala Ras, the supremely pure humor of Madhur Ras, transcendental amour. He is not controlled by devotees who worship him on the path of Aishwarya Bhakti, which is characterized by the mood of reverence. Nor is he controlled by Gyanis, who know him to be the self sufficient, supremely powerful Lord, nor by those whose bhakti is mixed with such gyan. But there is another meaning of Tadiyeshita Geshu Bhakterjitatvam. Shri Krishna only reveals Akyantam, that he is willingly controlled, Jitatvam, by his loving devotees, only to those who have proper knowledge of such beloved devotees' exalted position, those who are Geshu of the devotee's position. This is because bhakti, and especially its glories, are very confidential, so he does not reveal it to everyone. It is inappropriate to explain it to anyone who is not specifically acquainted with the exalted glories of the Vaishnavas, and who is only interested in impersonal knowledge. From this perspective, the previously cited verse should be interpreted by connecting vidham with bhritya vashyata. Thus, the general meaning of tad vidam, those who know Sri Krishna's supreme position, becomes bhritya vashyata vidam, those who know that Sri Krishna willingly comes under the control of his loving servants. Therefore, Sri Satyavrata Muni prays, overwhelmed with incomparable, pure loving devotion for you, Premata, I offer you Vandana, my prayers of adoration, hundreds of times, Shata Avriti. To you, Tung, the Supreme Lord, I offer Vandana again and again, Puna. I knew tongue means to you. I think in the word for word it said. Let me just check that before I forget to do so. See, tongue does not mean unto him, it means unto you. I just need to highlight that. Page 57. Okay. Where was I? Uh-oh, I lost my spot. Sorry, guys. Okay. This is because bhakti, and especially its glories, are very confidential, so he does not reveal it to everyone. It is inappropriate to explain it to anyone who is not specifically acquainted with the exalted glories of the Vaishnava, who is only interested in impersonal knowledge. From this perspective, the previously cited verse should be interpreted by connecting vidam with bhrita vashyata. Thus, the general meaning of tad vidam, those who know Sri Krishna's supreme position, becomes bhrita vashyata vidam, those who know that Sri Krishna willingly comes under the control of his loving servants. Therefore, Sri Satyavrata Muni prays, overwhelming, comparable, pure, loving devotion for you, Premata, I offer you Vandana, my prayers of adoration hundreds of times, Shata Avriti, to you, Tung, the Supreme Lord. I offer Vandana again and again, Puna. Thus, in this verse, the sage wishes to say, among the limbs of bhakti which are required for all devotees, I only pray to perform one special limb of bhakti. What is that? That is Vandana, to constantly express my adoration for Sri Bhagavan. I do not pray for knowledge of Sri Bhagavan's opulence or anything else. Thus ends the English rendition of the Dig-darśinī-ṭikā on the third verse. Okay, so that's our reading for today. And this evening we will read the Dig-darśinī-vritti of my Śrīla Gurudev for this verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gokshara Swabaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaiṣṇava Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupa Anuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanātana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jīva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Chai Shri Das Ṭhākura Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Ras Panchadhyay Ki Jai Shri Sarva Vraja Devi Gan Ki Jai Raseshwari Shivashabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radha Thakurani Ki Jai Shri Kartik Vrat Ki Jai Damodar Vrat Ki Jai Shri Yashoda Damodar Ki Jai Shri Radha Damodar Ki Jai Shri Dāmodarāṣṭakam Ki Jai Shri Satyavrat Muni Ki Jai Shri Sanātana Gosvāmī Par Ki Jai Dig-darśinī-ṭikā Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaiṣṇava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Vrajmandal Parikrama Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashaja Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna Sharma ji. All right, so see you all this evening for my Gurudev's commentary on the third verse of Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Jai Shri Radhe.